Hi folks, hope you're all well out there still. Today's video is going to be on the topic of the Ukraine-Russian war, but I want to talk about the war itself. I want to talk about some of the technology, and it was this article that sparked my interest actually today about this. The BBC resurrects World War II era shortwave broadcasts as Russia blocks some news of Ukraine's invasion. Now, shortwave radio is used by many countries and can be used by any country actually. BBC obviously has a bit of a reputation with their world service for reaching all sides of the globe really. And it's quite interesting, I didn't even realize they'd switched off their shortwave broadcasts a couple of years ago. But they are making use of these frequencies here at these times, specifically to target Ukraine and Russia. And yes, one can say that a government sponsored radio network is going to be broadcasting their point of view, and likewise from the Russian side, I imagine. But it's interesting that the fallback is on such an old and trusted technology that, to a certain extent has started to fall away. But yet when modern technology and things like the internet and standard websites can be blocked, then guess what comes to the rescue? It's the old trusted and tested technology. And what was also interesting was I saw a Twitter post that showed a recording of some of this broadcast itself that was being received in Finland. And it was actually at this particular station. So anybody can go to this address. Let me just turn the sound off. Anybody can go to this address over here at the top and tune into, this is a radio receiver effectively in Finland. And there's many more in Europe and in different parts of Europe as well. But what you're doing is you're tuning in specifically to different frequencies and you're listening to radios if you're sitting there in the area. So this was interesting because I'm going to play a short excerpt of that recording and you can hear how loud and clear the BBC is coming through from England on about 5 point something megahertz. In fact, let me just play that clip quickly and you can listen to it.
Welcome to NewsHour from the BBC World Service. I'm Julian Warwicker. On day 6 of the Russian invasion, Ukraine says Russia has attacked the main television tower in the capital, Kiev, killing 5 people and stopping some broadcasts. Meanwhile, Freedom Square in the center of Kharkiv.
Okay, so that was the broadcast by the BBC. The radio receiver itself, like I said, if you go to this web address, you can sort of tune in here and you'll see you can click to tune in instantly to any of these. There's Radio Australia, for example, that's obviously being received in Europe as well. These are just bookmarks to quickly jump to, different broadcast or frequencies that you want to tune into. You'll see there's some marine radio and various other things. So this is a OpenWebRX type station. It's a software-defined radio. I've done a video about software-defined radio before. So that was the one half of the story, and the other half was this, which was also quite interesting. BBC News launches a dark web Tor mirror. So what's happened here is that the BBC's normal website, which ends with .co or .co.uk, is obviously getting blocked by certain countries, and like I said, vice versa. Much of the Western world has blocked some of the Russian websites. So the way around this is BBC in their case have launched a couple of Tor onion sites, and you'll see here are the addresses in this particular article that anybody can go to using the Tor browser, or in the case like I'm using at the moment, I'm using Brave browser, and I've just opened a new window using the, new private window with Tor. So effectively, you'll see here, if you look at the top, I'm reading this on the Tor network at the moment, actually. And you'll see, for example, there is the BBC's website using Tor. Tor, of course, uses random circuits that skip between different countries. And what they're really doing is they are hiding the identity of the person that's reading the site. So if you were, say, in Russia, or you were in Ukraine, or you were in Nigeria, and you use Tor, it's going to be a lot more difficult for anybody to see who you are and exactly what country you are in when you're reading the website. And that's the whole point of this sort of thing, so that people in areas that are being censored can actually use the Tor browser. And you'll see also, for example, here is the address that has been put in in the Russian language by the BBC as well. So clearly they are targeting Russia, and they've also got a site, an address in the Ukrainian language, which obviously is targeting Ukrainian readers that haven't got access or possibly, have got problems with their internet. So yeah, okay, I sort of thought that was sort of fairly interesting. And then the one other thing I just want to show is the other way around a lot of these problems with typical websites and things like Twitter and Facebook and so on also being restricted and blocked is, I've done videos about these as well, but this is, for example, the Patchwork client, which is working on the SecureScuttlebutt network, which is a peer-to-peer social network. It doesn't connect to any website. There is no website in existence that runs this. You'll see here at the moment, I'm connecting to two other peers, which are two other users that are running a secure scuttlebutt site. They have connected to a third one as well. It'll randomly connect to various peers that it can connect to. As I connect to one or two of these, I'm receiving updates across the network, and I'm in turn providing updates to other people. And as these sites know about different peers, I'm also then receiving the addresses of those peers and can connect to others. So this is the other way people that get around, that sort of problem as well. The other network that I've covered before is Aether, and this is the Aether network, also peer-to-peer, no website involved. You're purely connecting through to individual peer networks, and that is how you are sending and receiving whatever posts and articles you are posting about. Aether, of course, is a sort of a Reddit type address where you vote up or down people's posts. So again, no central internet site required. Censorship and blocking of this sort of service is just about impossible, because you're not going to know which peers are used where. Both, well, I know specifically Aether, I can't remember Patchwork, but they also use random ports as well. They use whatever ports are available that they can actually communicate on. So again, not that easy to try and block and censor. So between peer-to-peer networks, things like Tor onion addresses and nodes that are being set up that can be accessed by the Tor browsers, and things like SDR radio receivers or shortwave radio receivers or amateur radio receivers. This is how communication continues to flow, no matter what sort of censorship or other problems are put in place. And I should just maybe add that you might say, well, what if the entire internet goes down? Yes, radio will still work. Amateur radio has also got things like JS8 call for text messaging, long distance, as well as things like WinLink radio, which does radio to radio email. You can literally send emails back and forth, and that is actually how people continue to communicate. So, as much as we've got all this modern technology, if the technology is not working, there are plenty of alternatives that can be used and that are being used. And we are seeing these now coming to life and being publicized now during this sort of crisis that's on the go. So anyway, that's just really what I wanted to show. I hope it was of interest to some people, and I'll see you in my next video.